Hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sonja J, and I'm back with another reaction video to one of my favorite YouTubers. This reaction video is going to be to another one of my favorite YouTubers, and her name is Queen Chioma. I have been following her channel and I've been subscribed for I want to say like at least 7 months now, and I've watched a lot of her videos and I really like her content. I'm also going to put the link to the video that I'm going to be reacting to in the description box, as well as the link to her channel, so you can subscribe to her channel because she does have great content. And if you are a black woman like I am, her channel will help you out because she talks a lot about the problems of black women and, you know, leveling up as young black women. And she recently did a video talking about black women wearing weaves, and I only watched a little bit of it, but I have some opinions. So let's watch it and let's get into it. Now, a disclaimer, this video is in no way, shape, or form going to be a bashing video or anything like that. Like I said, I only watched like maybe the first 5-6 minutes of the video. It's like a 20-minute video. It's pretty long, so I'm not going to play the whole entire video on this video, but I'm going to play the parts that are important so that you can, you know, understand what I'm reacting to. But this video in no way is going to be like a bashing video or anything. Like, I already kind of know from the little bit I did here that I have a few things that I may disagree with and have my own opinion on. However, just like I'm entitled to my opinion, she is too. So I'm not going to sit here and bash her or bash anybody that, you know, I subscribe to, especially not my own sisters. But I do have a different opinion on some of the things she was talking about. But that doesn't mean that I don't respect her channel and I don't respect her, because I do. So I'm going to just give my opinion on some of the things that she's talking about. I'm going to play her video in full so you can see it and understand it. And then I'm going to come in with my commentary. Okay?
Point number one is the reason why people wear weave. Now, I don't care what anyone has to say. If you do not have 4C hair, even type 4 hair, period, but specifically 4C, you will never understand the struggle of what it is like to have to manage your natural hair. You guys also need to understand that in this day and age, we are at a point where many black women, many people who have 4C hair, which is going to be majority black women, but there are other people who are non-black that have 4C hair. It is now at the point in time where we finally are getting some products that can help us with our hair, some utensils, some techniques, things that we can do that can help us with our hair. Yes, 4C hair existed long before any of us were ever thought of or created. But to see it in the media the way that we do and see it being promoted, it is pretty recent if you ask me. I don't think 4C hair was being promoted heavily up until maybe about, I'll give it maybe between 3 and 5 years ago. And 4C hair is very hard to manage, I swear to you. And because it has so many kinks, coils, tendency to dry, tendency to be breaking, just the way how it reacts to weather, climate, and changes, the way how 4C hair just is, period. Yes, it may be beautiful, but just the way how it is, period, in terms of management, there are so many reasons why people wear weave to manage their hair. One of those things being protection. People try to really come for me and say, I don't want to hear people use the defense that they wear weave because of protection. No, you want to be white. You're trying to erase being a natural black beauty, as if there's not natural hair underneath this weave. Why do people think that in order for you to be natural that you cannot wear weave? Natural movement, the natural hair movement started by taking out perms and relaxers from our hair, taking those things that were throwing off our hair, making our hair straight, our non-kinky curly textures. That is what being natural means. Not because you throw a wig on your head for maybe 8 hours of the day and go to sleep looking like Allen Iverson in 2002.
You are annoying. I'm crying. She even put the shots fired. Boom, 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 boom. I'm crying. LOL, LOL. Nah, but I will say this, because what she is saying has some truth to it, and I do hear her on that. You know, 4C hair, I don't have 4C hair. My hair is in the range of 3C, 4A. It's a mixture of both. So I don't have 4C hair. I do know 4C hair is a lot more kinkier, and it's a lot more of, it needs a lot more maintenance. So I don't know what it's like to have 4C hair. I will say that. And also, I feel like there was something else I wanted to point out that she said. Oh, some of the things that she's saying in this first segment of the video reminds me of some of the things that Leah Gordon said in her video. And if you haven't watched it already, actually, I recently, just a couple days ago, posted a video of me reacting to Leah Gordon's black women wearing hair extensions and how they may or may not be a setback for black women. I reacted to that like literally the other day. So if you want to watch that video first before you continue the rest of this video, you can, or you can watch that video after. But this video is kind of like similar to that video, but Chioma kind of touched on a few different topics because her hair is different than Leah's, and you know, she has a different experience. So that's also why I wanted to react to her video as well. So yeah, watch the video I did reacting to Leah Gordon's video if you haven't already. And yeah, I don't understand the struggle of 4C hair, so I do feel her on that. You know, 4C hair is there's more maintenance that is needed. So I'll give her that.
The hair that I render, that I put in my head, or that I make a wig of, is coming from Asian countries and South American countries. It's not coming from people that are white. So the argument that, oh, you're wearing a white woman's hair, how, when it's derived Indian curly, Brazilian wavy? Let's get our facts straight, because that is such a dumb and stupid argument, and I'm tired of people writing that in my comments. You sound very ignorant. Even to give the people who say that some points, I can understand people saying, well, you're wearing hair that doesn't look like your natural hair, so you hate your natural self. Okay, I can see where you're coming from, because this is not my natural hair texture. But like I said, if I was to wear a wig of my natural hair texture, not making the excuse, but why not just wear my natural hair when I can then just take care of my natural hair who is the same texture? If my natural hair texture is very hard to take care of on a daily basis, and I rather have a protective style because it helps it grow better, it helps it stay longer, all the 9 yards, why would I go and get hair that is, I guess, mimicking my natural hair texture, which I still can and I still would like to, when I can get a texture that is just a little bit more easy to manage like my own? And I'm not saying this as an excuse, but I'm just saying there's the reason why. And I don't like the fact that people try to negate the fact that if it's wearing weave or the texture of weave, because I think it's the texture that people have more issue with versus the weave itself. I think people are okay with clip-ins, glue-ins, wigs, sew-ins, whatever it may be. It's just the texture. People feel as if the texture doesn't match the person that it's on, then it's just fake and it's just terrible. But in reality, I just don't feel like that's the case. Like, I don't feel like people can be mad at black women for wearing weave or making fun of the fact that they wear weave when there are other races of women who also wear wigs, weaves, and any type of extension.
Okay, so with what she said, okay, first we're gonna start here. Now the whole reason, and I said this in my other reaction video to Leah Gordon's black women wearing weave is a setback. The reason that we even started wearing weave, we started straightening our hair and doing all these European or other race, the things that other races of women do to their hair, the reason why we started doing it to ours, even though our hair is not meant to do that, is because we had to be able to get ahead in society. So if we start there, you know, that's the truth. That's a fact. That's the truth. I think for the most part, we pretty much all know that. But now in 2019, you know, a lot of us are leveling up. We're getting smarter. We're learning about our hair. There's more products and more videos and people out there wearing their real hair. And there's more examples and inspiration on natural hair. So it's a lot easier now for black girls to get into the movement as it wasn't, you know, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. But at the same time, okay, and this is what I wanted to say earlier. Now, I agree with her on this part. I do think it's ignorant when people say stuff like black girls wear weave to try to copy white women or try to copy other races of women, because one, we didn't start doing it because we just wanted to be you guys or wanted to look like you guys. It's because we had to. We dead ass literally had to. In order to get jobs, to get promotions, to not get expelled from school. Because if you go look it up, click off this video, go look it up right now. There are black women who have lost their jobs for wearing their natural hair, wearing dreads or braids. And they're not even dirty or messy or nothing, but because of the simple fact that they are dreads, or because there's simple fact that they are braids and it's not straight hair, they got expelled from school. There's girls that got expelled from school. Go look it up right now. Fired from their jobs. You know, there are black women out there who have gotten fired from their jobs, expelled from school and stuff just because they wore their natural hair. So, you know, we didn't do it because we wanted to look like other races of women. We did it because we had to. So that's number one fact. Number two, also, we don't do it because we want to look white or we want to look like other races of women. It's more so just because it's just in. You know, it's kind of a normal societal thing that women wear weaves and women wear wigs. And more specifically for black women, because our natural hair we can't wear it straight every day like that. We can't wear it curly like that every day, not with the iron. So if we want to have straight hair, we want to have curly hair, it makes more sense to put fake hair on and do all that to the fake hair than our real hair. So it's not that we really want to look like other races of women. It's just because it's just what's popping and we like the way it looks. But however, there are women out there who do wear wigs and weaves because they do want more European-esque hair, or they want their hair to look more straight or more wavy as opposed to kinky and coily. There are. We can't lie and say there aren't. There are. Not all of them, but there are. Also, with what she said about the hair, the weave, getting a weave that's more close to your texture of hair. I mean, I do understand what she's saying about that. You know, I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know, that's still stupid. But at the same time, I'm like, well, you know, if you wear weaves and wigs because it's supposed to be for protection, which I do believe her. I'm not saying I don't, but it's like, other than, I mean, it's like, okay, I watched her channel, you know, and I did see that video where she got her hair straightened, but then it's like, it wasn't finished, you know. It was supposed to be a part 2, and then the part 2 never came. So it wasn't like we actually got to see your hair down. It was like we seen the process, and then the video was over, and then you're like, watch part 2. So technically, we really didn't see your hair. Then I kind of tried to look back to see if there's any videos I missed or something. And then there was a video that I seen that she was talking about like permed hair or something. And that was like 7 months ago. And it was a picture of her hair. You know, it wasn't like she wasn't on the camera with her hair out. It was just a picture. So, I mean, in my opinion, that doesn't really count as being like I wear my real hair out, because other than those 2 times, I'm just talking about within this year, within like the past year, other than those 2 times, all the hairstyles have been wigs and weaves. And all the wigs and weaves are straight, curly, wavy, not kinky, nothing like that. So it's kind of like, I mean, I do know she's natural and I do believe her because I did watch her video and her natural hair. But it's like, if you never show it, like, ever, how are we supposed to believe that you do love your hair and you do embrace your hair if you never show it? And I'm not trying to over exaggerate, but you really don't ever show your hair. I only seen it just in that video 3 months ago, but we didn't actually see it all down. It was just, we just seen the back getting straightened and the trim and then cut off. And then 4 months prior to that video, it was a picture of your hair. But it wasn't you in movement, and that picture I'm sure was old. So it's kind of like, you know, we don't really actually really see the evidence. We hear you, but we don't really see it. And then also with the whole kinky weave thing, like, I mean, I do see what you're saying, but at the same time, I would imagine that you don't even have to get a 4C weave. Why don't you get like, you know, a weave like kind of like how my hair is, like 4A, 4C, 4A, 3C type hair. You know, that's at least a little bit closer to, you know, black girl ringlets and the kinky of black girl hair, rather than just getting like a complete wavy bounce or a complete straight, you know. You know, it doesn't have to be 4C weave. It could be 4A or 3C. That's cool too, you know. It doesn't always have to be Malaysian, Indian, Malaysian weave, you know. We can get African weave. And I hear what you're saying about, you know, it'd be easier to maintain. But that's kind of the same thing. It's kind of like you're basically saying, without saying, you choose not to wear your real hair because you don't want to be bothered with your real hair. That's kind of basically what you're saying. And I hate saying that because I don't want you to feel like I'm bashing or anything, because I'm not. But I'm respectfully giving you my honest opinion. I feel like you're kind of saying, like, without saying, I don't think you hate your hair. I'm not saying you hate it. But I feel like you're saying without saying, I don't really care to wear my hair out because I don't have the time and I don't honestly care to maintain it. I think you should just say that instead of just trying to make it seem like you wear wigs and weaves to protect your hair. Because what are you protecting it from if you never wear it? So I think it's more so you just don't want to wear it and you're trying to, you know, tell us why. But I think the why is really you just don't want to because it's just too much to take care of. But in all honesty, there are ways that you can wear your hair out a lot more. And once you get used to it, it'll be a lot easier. I promise you. Because the first like 6 months, it did take a while for me to do my hair natural. I've been natural for 2 years. But now, this past year, it's been a breeze. I sleep on my hair the way it is. I wake up and it looks fine. All I gotta do is spritz some water, maybe a little gel, and fluff it up. Like, it's so easy doing my hair now because I'm used to it. I know how to do my hair now. It's easy. But if we keep it real, a lot of black women don't know how to do their hair. You would think we do, but we really don't, because we cover our hair up all the time, wear wigs and weaves all the time. How do you know how to take care of your hair if you never wear it out or never show it? You know? So, I mean, we got to be real with that, but I'm going to keep seeing if there's other, you know, we'll keep watching. Let's see what else she says.
Now, point number 3 is the main point, and that is embracing natural beauty. So I feel like it's a taboo topic. I feel like a lot of people only put so much pressure on wigs and weaves on black women when there are so many things that the majority of women do that I guess you could say adds to the non-embracing of natural beauty. How many of you girls wear acrylic nails? A lot. Does that mean that you hate your natural nails? Probably not. But does that mean that you like to accentuate or enhance or just like the look of them? Yes. Is it maybe easier for you to just wear acrylics than it is to wear your natural nails? Probably for some of you. But people will sit here and bash and diminish black women who wear weave, even though you wear acrylic nails, even where you wear false eyelashes, even though you're wearing eyelash extensions, even to the point where I feel like embrace your natural stank then. Why are you wearing deodorant if you want to be so natural? Embrace your natural stank, okay?
Okay, Chioma, so can I be real? Sis, you was reaching. Sis, you was reaching on that one. Because wearing acrylic nails and fake eyelashes is not the same thing as constantly, religiously wearing a wig and a weave every day and never showing your real natural hair. That's not really the same thing. If we're going to keep it 100, that's not the same thing. And, you know, it's not. That was kind of reaching, if I'm going to be honest, that really was. Also, most women don't wear acrylic nails. A lot of women don't. I mean, there are women that do, but that's really more so a young woman thing, especially like the long acrylics, the, you know, the scratchers. That's really like a 30 and under thing. That's not all women do that. So that's not really, I feel like that was kind of reaching. Also, yeah, and also even with the wearing your natural stank, like that's very, like that's completely reaching. Like, okay, we're not gonna not take showers just because you want to feel better about wearing wigs and weaves. Like, come on. But if I'm being honest, also the reason why other races of women can get away with wearing wigs and weaves and people don't make fun of it as much is because they also wear their real hair just as frequently. We don't. Like, we gotta stop trying to pretend like as if we just chose to wear wigs and weaves because it was just fun. But just as much as we wear wigs and weaves, we wear our real hair. No, we don't. Like, stop. Like, I'm sorry, Chioma. We gotta stop fronting, sis. And it ain't just you. I'm not just calling out you. I'm just saying black women in general. Like, we gotta stop fronting and try to pretend like, oh, we only wear wigs and weaves for protective styles, but we wear our real hair just as much. Because you really don't. When do you wear your real hair? Like, please. Show me the videos, the receipts, so I can see it. Because, I mean, you know, I'm not bashing you, Chioma, but I'm just saying, like, based on from what I've seen since I've been subscribed, I only seen your real hair one time, well, twice. One was a picture, so that doesn't really count. It wasn't moving motion. And then the second time was in that video, but we didn't actually see it all down. We just seen the process, and then it cut off. So, and then after that, you went right back to the wig and weave. So it doesn't really count when we don't see it. I'm sorry, not sorry. That's just the truth. Also, we got to stop trying to pretend like that's not true. We know for a fact that there are black women out there who will literally go crazy if someone took away all their wigs and weaves. Like, come on. I know, like I said in my other video, I know black women personally who, if I took their wig and weave away right now, they would go batshit crazy. They wouldn't know what to do. They would not go outside, and they would literally wear hoods because they don't want to show their hair. Like, let's keep it real. We can't lie. Like, we cannot lie. Like, that's the truth. I'm not saying all women. I'm not saying every single woman wears wigs and weaves because they don't like their hair or they're hiding their hair. But there are black women who do. We cannot deny that fact. That is true. And if we're keeping it really real, there's more black women that do than don't. Because if you look, yeah, there are natural women. There are women who are coming out being natural. But there's still majority black women that wear wigs and weaves, and there are that wear natural hair. So with that being said, that's true. Also, yeah, other races of women wear their real hair out a lot more. And I know why, you know, because in society, their hair is deemed acceptable more than our hair is deemed acceptable. So it's easier for them to feel comfortable wearing their real hair. I do understand that, but it's still a fact. They wear their real hair more than they wear the wigs and weaves. So that's why people don't really get on them as much. That's why people don't really say as much, because when they wear their wigs and weaves, it does kind of come off more as a fun style and creative style, even though sometimes they be culture vultures and they be biting. I do get that, and that shit is annoying, but it comes off that way because just as much as they do play with the wigs and weaves from time to time, they show their real hair just as much, probably even more. And we don't. We wear the wigs and weaves 90% of the time and our real hair the 10% of the time. Some black women don't even ever show their real hair. Like I said in the other video, there are black women that I grew up with that I've never seen their real hair before to this day. So we can't lie and say that's not true. That is true. Black women do wear wigs and weaves. At least half of the black women out here in the society wear wigs and weaves because they don't know how to take care of their hair, they're ashamed of their hair, or maybe they just don't feel like doing their hair because they feel like their hair is, you know, hard to manage and they don't feel like it. But we can't lie and say that they don't cover it up because they just do it because they want to. No, they cover it up for a reason, a purpose, because they feel some type of way about their real hair. That is true. Also, like I said, other races of women wear their hair out more. So it's not really a big shock when we see their hair, or, you know, it's not a big deal when they wear wigs and weaves because it was like, oh, we've seen their real hair plenty of times before. But a lot of black women don't wear their real hair out. We're just now starting to see us do it. So you can't sit here and try to like compare apples to oranges. That was kind of reaching. Like, sorry, not sorry. But let's continue.
People don't understand that. They look at the looser textured hair and just be like, oh, it's so beautiful, it's pretty. But then you see 4C hair and it's just like, oh no, that's not cute. It's like you even bash our natural hair, but then when we try to assimilate, because we've had to for many years through history of being a black woman, especially one with the nigatoid features, I want to call it, now people want to sit up here and bash you for doing it, but then bash you for leaving your hair out as well. It's like, damned if you do and you damned if you don't.
She's right about what she said on that part, but those are facts, you know. And that can be frustrating as a black woman. I mean, I personally don't wear wigs and weaves. I've never worn a wig or a weave. So to some extent, I can't relate to wearing a wig or weave. And honestly, I'm actually thankful I never did, because I feel like I probably would have been stuck in that cycle of being addicted to it. And I'm glad I'm free of it, because I love my natural hair and it's a part of me. But she's right. That is true. You know, it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because it's like 1 minute guys, if we keep it real, it be mainly men, you know. Women bash each other too. We know we do. But men do it just as much. You know, men claim that they don't care about that and they're too manly and whatever, but they care about it just as much. They bash women just as much for our looks, our physical appearance, our hair, our makeup, whatever they do, and they put us against each other. So with that being said, she's right. You know, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You know, 1 minute guys are like, I only like girls with real hair. I hate the wigs, I hate the weaves. And then once you wear your real hair and you have 4C hair or you have 4B hair, then it's like, but wait, didn't you just say you didn't like wigs and weaves and you wanted a sister with natural hair? But now that I'm wearing my natural hair, it's not straight enough for you, it's too kinky. And a lot of people like to use the N word, nappy. I don't like using that word. We ain't using that word. Like, our hair is kinky, not nappy. Get it right. But anyways, she's right. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. So it is annoying that people do try to, like, 1 minute be like, you should do this, and then when you do it, then they bash you for it. That is true, and that can make it hard for black women to wear their natural hair. That does come into play, because there are some black women who actually are contemplating wearing their natural hair, but because they know their hair is more kinkier, and they know that their hair has a lot of shrinkage, and they know, you know, that they may be received as a joke or whatever, because, you know, we always got those fucking idiots who always want to make jokes and say dumb shit and post the memes. So, you know, I do understand why some black women are hesitant on, you know, becoming natural and coming out with their real hair. You know, even today I was on Facebook and I seen this guy and I had to unfollow him, you know, post this like ignorant ass meme, you know, talking about dark skinned black women and how their hair looks when they dye it and shit. And I'm just like, and I had to comment on it. I commented on it and let him know, like, you're part of the problem. I didn't say it like that. I said it more respectful. But basically, you know, just letting them know, like, you as a black man, you bashing other black women doesn't help. It makes things worse. And that's why black women have a hard time coming out being natural, because there are men like you who make jokes about it when you're fucking black like us. So I get it. You know, I do understand why it's hard for women to come out natural, but we got to get to a point where we just stop giving a fuck about what these people think and just build our own confidence, because at the end of the day, they're not going to like what we do, whether we do something good or do something bad. They're going to always have something to say. So we got to just stop giving a fuck about what people think and what people do, and do what's best for you. And that's what I did, sis. Oh, girl.
I don't know, I just kind of find it funny that like people really have this argument that black women cannot grow long hair just because you don't see it, because most of the time the coil of our hair is going to be in a shrunken state does not mean that it does not happen. I feel like it's a very ignorant statement to make.
And yeah, she's right. I hate when people think that too. And if I'm gonna be real, I used to think that. You know, a lot of black people are, even black people, we're ignorant to that untrue fact, or untrue fact that black women's hair doesn't grow, or our hair can't grow long. No, our hair really can grow very long. Our hair can grow just as long as any other race woman. But the difference is our hair is kinkier and it's coilier, so it shrivels. Like my hair, as you can see, it's curly and full, but it's neck length. But if I were to straighten it, it would be like right here. So our hair shrivels and shrinks. So that's why our hair looks like it's shorter, especially if you wear it natural like how I have my hair. But our hair can grow pretty long. Like we do have great length retention. It's just the problem is a lot of us don't know how to take care of our natural hair because we don't wear our natural hair. So we don't know how to take care of it. But yeah, I hate that stereotype is out there. And I honestly used to think that too when I was younger. I used to think us as black women, our hair couldn't grow too long because, you know, once my hair, like I know for me, my experience, I used to straighten my hair all the time. So once it would get to a certain length, then it wouldn't grow anymore. But that was because, I apologize if you hear the child in the background. I'm sorry I have to keep saying that in almost every video, but it's really hard to record sometimes when you have kids, I'm telling you. But anyways, yeah, damn, lost my damn train of thought. I don't remember what I was saying, but basically, yeah, I used to think that way too when I was younger. I used to straighten my hair all the time. Once it got to a certain length, it wouldn't get any longer. But that's because I wasn't taking care of my hair the way it was supposed to be. A lot of us black women, you know, think that putting these perms and strenuous hairstyles on our hair, pulling our hair so tight and straightening it so much, we think that, you know, we can do that to our hair, but we can't. That's why our hair breaks off. That's why we have no edges and stuff. Not all black women, but I'm saying the black women that do have hair that's, you know, broken off and messed up, it's because of that, because we don't take care of our hair properly. You know, a lot of black women, in our heads we think, and I used to be one of them, like we can straighten our hair as much as, you know, the white girls and the Mexican girls and the Asian girls, and we can blow dry our hair as often and do our hair. Like, no, our hair is different. Our hair is small. Even though our hair is thicker and it's more coarse, it's actually more fragile because it's so thick and it's so coarse. It's fragile, you know. You can't just yank it. You got to do it at a pace. You got to do it in sections. You got to do it softly. Our hair is very fragile and it's glorious, honey. But anyways, yeah, I pretty much agree. I agree with a lot of what Chioma was saying. I do. I really do agree with a lot of what she was saying. But at the KJ. So in conclosing, that's not a word. I pretty much agree with what a lot of Chioma was saying. I do. But there are some parts of her video that I don't agree with. I do feel like there are black women. I don't know about Chioma personally. I can't tell you how she feels. I can't tell her how she feels. But I don't feel like all black women only wear wigs and weaves as protective styles. That's not the truth. Because I know black women personally who wear wigs and weaves as the only style. Not protective, but only. Also, in my opinion, I feel like, especially with the world we live in and me being an adult, I'm more of a realist and I'm more of an action speaks louder than words type of girl. And I just feel like, you know, if you're going to say that you're natural, you can't really, in my opinion, it's just like your actions don't match with your words. You know, you say you're natural and you wear your hair, your wigs and weaves as protective styles, but what are you protecting it from if you never wear your hair out? Like if we never see your hair out ever, you only wear wigs and weaves all the time, then how do we really know you're natural if we don't actually see the natural hair? That's a fact. That's just a fact. That's not a read. That's not a reach. That's not shade. That's just the truth. That's a fact right there. I can't know you're natural if I can't see the natural hair. You always wear wigs and weaves all the time. How am I supposed to know you're really natural if I don't really see the natural hair? And then, you know, she did kind of mention something about, she shows her Meek Mill braids on camera. I mean, that's true, but that's only for 1, 2, 3 seconds and then the wig's on. So that doesn't count. You're not actually out at the mall wearing the Meek Mill braids. You're not actually out with the Meek Mill braids. You're on camera in the privacy of your home for 3 seconds and then you put the wig on. So in my opinion, that doesn't really count. You know, I'm talking about, when you say you're natural, yes, that does mean that you're not using chemicals. You're not, fucking your hair up. You're just protecting it. However, at the same time, if you never wear it out, then you're not really embracing your hair. That's the fact. You're not. If you're never wearing your hair out, then you're not actually embracing your hair. You can't tell us you can't expect us to believe you're natural if we don't actually see the natural hair. I hate to say that, but that's the truth. Showing your hair once a year doesn't really make me feel like what you're saying is true if I see the weave the other 99.9% of the time. Like, if you did half and half, like Leah Gordon, I feel like her video was 100% valid to herself because she really does wear her real hair just as much as she wears the wigs and weaves. So I understand what she was saying, even though I feel like some of what she was saying doesn't stand for all black women, because like I said, there's a lot of black women who don't wear their real hair because they are ashamed of it, if we're going to be honest, because I used to be one of them. And it wasn't that I didn't wear my real hair, because I always wore my hair out. I never wore wigs and weaves. I've never worn one before, but I used to always straighten my hair. I religiously straightened my hair, especially once I hit high school. I religiously straightened my hair to the point where I had a big chop because I ruined it. I religiously straightened my hair because I didn't want to wear my natural hair. I didn't even know what my natural hair looked like, 1. But 2, I didn't think it did look good, so I didn't want to show it. So, I mean, if that was my reality and other women I know personally's reality, I'm sure there's hundreds of thousands of other black women who feel the same. So I don't agree with the whole trying to pretend like we only wear wigs and weaves for protective styles. That's not true. That's not true for every black woman. That's true for maybe you, but not every black woman. There are black women out there who really do wear wigs and weaves for just the simple fact that they don't like their natural hair or they don't want to embrace it. And honestly, I feel and I understand it is hard to admit the truth. It's hard to admit that you're ashamed of something, especially when that something is your natural something. But I mean, at this point, we can't, the gig's up, we can't keep pretending like, the wigs and weaves are only for protective styles, especially if we never show our real hair. So it's like, let's just admit the truth. It's nothing wrong with saying, you know what? I do wear wigs and weaves because in this moment, I currently am uncomfortable with wearing my natural hair. I haven't grown to love it yet. But in time, I do plan on wearing my natural hair, and I do plan on learning to take care of it and learning to love it. And one day soon, honey, you're going to see this natural fro out every day, okay? There's nothing wrong with saying that. We can admit that we're ashamed or we're uncomfortable with something. There's nothing wrong with admitting that. I just don't really care for the trying to pretend like it's something else, because we know what it is. Because if that was the case, we would see your real hair just as much as we see the wigs and weaves, or we would see more kinkier, Afro-esque, curly, coily wigs and weaves rather than wavy straight, So that's my opinion on it. That's my take on it. This video is not to bash Queen Chioma, because I love her. I'm still going to be subscribed. I'm still going to support her. That's my sis. Don't get it twisted. But I'm just giving my opinion off of what she said, because, I agree with a lot of what she said, but there's also some things I didn't agree with. But that's just my opinion. Much respect. Subscribe to my channel. These words. If you haven't already. And I'll see you guys very soon. I'm going to do more reaction videos today. Comment down below if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. If you agree with me, comment down below and let me know. And if you disagree with me, you can comment down below and let me know too. I'm fine with that. Just be respectful. I'll see you soon. Bye.